Hey YouTube, I was gonna hit you with the Shack. Sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game joke here, but I was familiar with Sableye's game. In fact, if you watch my channel for a while now, you'll know that I always put Sableye always a winner in my titles and thumbnails because I knew how strong it was. At the beginning of the season, I said that I think Sableye is a bit overrated because I thought foul play was a downgrade on this Pokemon. And now I don't know if it's an upgrade, but I can at least give it a side grade. And let me explain my thought process on Sableye and why I've changed my tune a bit and my thought process around it. And for this, you need to know the history. So for Sableye, as an OG Pokemon, you had to purify it. Shadow Claw was always one of the best fast moves in the game. Foul Play was a good move. It took you I think like 14 on the first one and 12 on the second and third, fourth to get to it. And then you had Return. And Return was a really nice move, so you needed the purified one. It was such a hard hitting move, but it took a ton of energy to get to. But you could flip matchups. So one of the earliest matchups that Sableye went into was if you save swap Sableye and went against an Azumarill, if you landed a Return, between the Return and the Shadow Claws, you could flip switch there. Fast forward to Shadow Sableye getting a Rock type move as the second move. And suddenly, everyone was using Shadow Sableye because now, with the Rock type move, it was fine for coverage. But what people were starting to realize and what the Sims started to realize was Shadow Claw plus one foul play from a Shadow Sableye with more claws was enough to take out on a lot of neutral matchups. So instead of the non-Shadow, when you needed to either land a Return on something, or you needed to double foul play. You basically need to Shadow Claw, foul play at a rate of 14 and 12 turns. Now the Shadow version, you were allowed to go Shadow Claws, one foul play at 14, and then Shadow Claw down because the shadow damage on Sableye did so much. So fast forward to what happened now. Foul play gets reduced damage and reduced energy. So now in pretty much all scenarios here, you need to throw two foul plays because one foul play is nowhere near enough even with the Shadow Claw damage. But I cannot dismiss the Dazzling Gleam and how much better Dazzling Gleam makes this Pokemon. It is such a hard-hitting move. It is such a cover move for Pokemon that you would have otherwise a ton of trouble with, like Darks. So between those two, it really makes this Pokemon better. So I think for me, there's some reworking of your brain of how, because you had this I went from a purified throwing two to a Shadow throwing one foul play and taking it with the claws to now having a Shadow that needs to throw two. So if you if you think about that logic, it's okay, now I'm going from 1 to 2. That should make it worse. But at the same time, it is potentially better because now instead of going 14s and 12s, you're now just throwing at straight 10s. So a lot of these matchups, you're now getting a third foul play where in the past you may have only gotten 2. So now that extra foul play is going through. And then Dazzling Gleam getting at that 14 pace is fantastic. So I went 9-1 with this team. Basically a balanced team. You stay in against everything but a Fairy, a Dark. For sure those two, Fairy and Dark. Maybe there's a third, but otherwise Drapion is your safe swap. Let's take a look at some battles. Charger Bug. So we will play this out. I'm going to at least go up to the Dazzling Gleam to fake it at least. I am shielding. I'll respect the X Scissor. Throwing it here. So I grab one shield. I know I can live one move for sure. And now it's, do I just go straight Dazzling Gleam or do I try to... Yeah, I'll probably just go straight Dazzling Gleam. So I did try to go one Dazzling Gleam. Lapras comes in and caught it, so that's okay. This will be okay, chip damage. I'll probably just stay in this matchup and getting to it. And right here's the significant improvement. There's no chance I would have got to a move here before, but Psywave being resisted, only taking 10 to get to. I now just grab that second shield, and that is huge, right? Shadow Claw does an insane amount of damage on the Shadow Sableye, and because I put so much pressure on that, I'm now able to get to a crunch, take the shield. I do not shield the Skull Bash, which is unfortunate. So we're going to have to sweep with Jumpluff here. Not throwing a move yet. I know I can take one X Scissor, but I will shield up just in case I can maybe take this out. And they actually discharge, so that's pretty good for me. A little more energy to get to the discharge when X-Scissor is probably the better move there. And out comes a Feraligatr, but because I had so much extra energy, here comes a super effective energy ball. This should one-shot. Goodbye Feraligatr, and I'll take the rest here. Pangoro, so there's your dark. So bad leave. I will go straight into Drapion. And they come in with more Peko. So the problem, so double dark, already interesting. But the problem with this, from their perspective, is I had a 2 to 3 poison sting advantage, and it only takes me 8 to get to these, as opposed to the 10 it takes to get to their aura wheel. So because I was just so far ahead, and because Morpeko is so glassy, this is an easy flip for me now. So get off the Aqua Tail to grab a shield. I'm going to lose CMP on the next one, so I wouldn't have thrown. Anyways, I'm at this point just committing to the farm down. Flipping switch. They do just go straight aura wheel twice, which is great for energy for me. So take that out. What's coming in is a Feraligatr. So I have a first crunch coming at it. This will chip to well over 50%. It's a non-shadow, but still does 50%. And then they try to come in with Pangoro. I thought I clicked Aqua Tail, but I guess I clicked Crunch before. Anyways, I remember them shielding for some reason. Now just to get absolutely punished by Jumpluff. Good flip there. Swalot, just did Swalot the other day, maybe this morning. It has a Mud Shot, but it has Poison, Sludge, and it has Ice Beam. So, and it's slower to get to than me, and they're not fast move. It's not resisted because they're using Mud Shot, but it's not a hard hitting move. But I will respect the Ice Beam on the first one anyways, knowing that they're unlikely to bait, and they go into Glycopod. So here we are. I don't have a fantastic answer for Glycopod. I guess Drapion's not bad because it resists the Shadow Claw. But now I try to catch a move. Hopefully try to catch like an Aqua Jet. But they're so X-Scissor, so they could be just... I mean, why am I hoping to catch an Aqua Jet? I'm not catching on Jumpluff. So it does really matter what move I catch. Everything's neutral. And look at that back-to-back Aqua Jet. Goodbye, Drapion. Thank you for your service. I'm sorry that you were just a sacrifice there. So come back in here, farm up a little bit more, take this out, or grab the second shield and then make a decision whether I want to burn a shield here. So decision time. You can go either way here. I don't think there's a right or wrong move here. I have energy, so I felt like that energy was valuable, right? Especially that I can farm down. I didn't know if I can farm down, so I tried to catch a potential move. But I am loaded with energy on the SABLEYE. Sludge is going to hurt here. Swalot is more defensive heavy, so I'm not too concerned. I should be able to live this with ease. It only does about 50%. So get off the Aerial Ace. But Swalot is, very tanky, so not enough to take that out. They do make a catch on an Annihilape. Not what you want to catch on. And because I'm just going to outpace it to the Rage Fist here, I will take this out ASAP. And then take the rest of this matchup. So goodbye, Swalot. SABLEYE into Annihilape. So this is a good lead. They will probably have to get out here. And they get out into Toxapex. Now this is a good matchup here too, because Poison's resisted. But I really want to keeps alignment. So what I'm going to do, is chip there and then try to keep alignment on the SABLEYE, knowing that I also have the Jumpluff. So Drapion's basically my worst answer to Annihilape. So I felt like this was an evenish matchup here that I can either grab shield, maybe take switch. Either's fine. So I can live a brine here, and then I'll throw a charge move pretty much right away to grab this shield or take switch. Again, I almost hope I grab a shield because I have 2 answers for it anyways. But they do let it go. But they show me their last Pokemon, which is great because I can ensure alignment on the Jumpluff here. I know it has Fire Punch. We'll see how much it does. It's like a third. That's fine. And out comes the Annihilape. Counters are slowly adding up, right? Your shadow, so you take a little more damage. So I didn't really want to take a Rage Fist here. And I know that because it's only 10 to get to these foul plays, having some energy coming out of this, you're going to start to be able to put some pressure on the Diggersby. Shadow Claw is double resisted, so you're only going to be able to put on charge move pressure. But here comes the first foul play. They're going to let it go just to see how much it does. And it does chip, right? So that's the thing. Like, not like bulky Pokemon like this, it now takes 3 to take it out. Whereas in the past, it may take 2, but the difference in the count is substantial. So here comes the second one. If they let this go, it's just Aerial Ace range. If they shield, which I remember they did, it is now just straight Energy Ball range. I know I can live one more because I know it only does like a third, but I'll shield out the first one anyways. And now I can go back-to-back Energy Balls here. No point of baiting. Baiting is basically my lose con. So Energy Ball, first one, they do shield. That's fine. I will get to a move. I can live another move. I know that. So I'll get to the Energy Ball here to take this out. And they know it as well, so they top left. Shiftry, terrible lead. Again, dark. So into my Drapion, get hit with an Ariados. Now, Ariados is kind of a weird one. They're going to have some sort of like X-Scissor or Lunge. I got Crunch, which is neutral. So I grabbed one shield already, which is nice. They do Lunge me, which lowers my attack. But I get to another Crunch here. And they're going to need to throw a move. And we CMP. I'll be interested to see if I shield this. Yeah. So we CMP'd. And the reason that I'm shielding is just because Annihilape has such a bad... Sorry, that Sableye has such a bad matchup against Shiftry. Whereas Jumpluff has a good matchup. So I'm willing to fight for switch here. Or grab that second shield. Probably should have just threw the Aqua Tail there to get any chip. Especially something as glassy as Shiftry. So they land the Leaf Blade, but now we come back in here. Foul Play is neutral because I am just grass and flying. So it'll chip, especially from attack-heavy Pokemon. Going to try and take this out, and they have a Medi in the back, so I've got 2 answers for Medi, essentially. But knowing that Sableye is just useless on the Shiftry, I'll just come in here. I'd be surprised if I shield at all, and I will be even more surprised if I throw anything. Yeah, I probably would have just committed to the farm down there. Credilli. So I'm throwing right away because I know that they are just going to rock to me and lower my attack. So I want to do as much chip as I can or grab a shield. And I grabbed the shield, so that's okay. They're going to probably throw rock tomb and lower my attack. I think I just need to use this Pokemon more. But honestly, I'm not playing much. Like, this is going up Friday afternoon. And just to put it in perspective, I have played... I mean, I'm shooting this a little bit in advance here, but I've played like, yeah, the 10 games. I played 10 games with this team since the season has turned, like since this week has come back. I really just don't have the desire to play this game right now. And it's also because I'm like burnt out because I'm doing 2 videos here plus 1 on my other channel every day, plus work, plus life. So... yeah, definitely running on fumes here, but again, we have an end in sight for this. So Clodsire would have aligned on my Jumpluff because I instant swap for some reason, but they instant swap too, so that's okay. I guess they swap because Psywave would be resisted on the Drapion. Shadow Ball will chip here, but I think as long as I save shields for Drapion, I should be okay. Just going with the Aerial Ace, hoping it's enough to take out here. And it is, and just chipping ASAP because I just need to put it in a couple Aqua Tail ranges here. So any chip is good. It's going to be a tight double here. Because it does like, what, a third-ish? Maybe like 40%. So I'll have to respect the move, even if it's a bait, because can't really take a ton of damage here. It is an Earthquake. Here comes the next Aqua Tail. Again, I don't know if it's enough to take out. It'll be pretty close. They have a few HP, but I get to a third Aqua Tail. And this will take out here. So yeah, good success with this team. I'm trying to remember the one I lost. Marowak. Again, Marowak is tricky if you don't have like a grass or flyer for it. Even flyers, it has Rock Slide, but... we know how much these mud slaps and bone clubs can add up in neutral situations. So here comes the first foul play. They do shield, and I try and make a catch. Yeah, look at that. 1 in catch. I'm surprised how often it worked out here. So catching a Bone Club, that is huge, but they are going to bank that energy. They're going to bank that energy and come in Talonflame. And so this is tough, obviously. As a grass Pokemon, I'm now taking super effective Incinerates. This thing's basically going to go to 100 energy here. But I'm pretty sure I get to a third move because they do try and go to 100 energy. No, okay, they do throw. That's okay. But I'm pretty sure they're like at 80 or 100 anyways. So they take me out. No. 2 claws plus a foul play means I should go first. So I let it go, and it's a Credality in the back, and now I got a Pokemon that's going to lower my attack, and I'm going to lose because of that. So, did I lose this game? Maybe. I think this may be the one. And if I lost, it's because I should have gotten 2 claws and a foul play before that Incinerate registered, and I should have taken that out or grabbed the shield. As opposed to this game just being stupid. One turn delaying me. Cost me that Pokemon. Now locked in here where they're going to lower my attack. And now Marowak's just going to smack me down, and I don't have enough damage on my Aqua Tails to take this out, I don't think. Or I think I actually just get outpaced. Either way, this game screwed me over here. I didn't even notice it at the time, but I definitely noticed it watching back now. Yeah. That I should have got to move off there first. Okay. Couple more battles. Fairy lead, so this one's tough. So I'm going to get out into my Drapion, and they come in with low kicks, which is kind of interesting because low kicks has Sucker Punch, which is resisted on Drapion. So I think that helps me for sure here. I will shield because this thing I know is very attack heavy, and X-Scissor seems like it would hurt a lot. And I have a bunch of energy here. And I kind of want to flip switch. Not that Jumpluff has an amazing matchup. In fact, taking Sludge would be not a great scenario. I definitely can live one, but those Sludges would come pretty fast. But they double shield their low kicks, which is fine by me. Because now I can come maybe Jumpluff and farm down and start getting ahead on energy here. Yeah. So 3 Fairy Winds ahead on energy. What are they going to come in with? They come in with Sableye. So I go straight Energy Ball. Fairy Wind super effective. Hoping this does enough that I can just Fairy Wind down. And that does a ton of damage, and they top left. What was the CP on this thing? Did they pick in the wrong Sableye? Yeah, 1143. I was about to say I should not have done that much damage with that Energy Ball. It was an underpowered Sableye, which is why they probably top left out of frustration. Been there, done that. I've brought like a 500 CP Pokemon before because I clicked the wrong one. Okay, so Diggersby lead is a weird one because their quick attack is resisted, your Shadow Claw is resisted, and now we got neutral Scorching Sands and Foul Plays. I think they maybe just accidentally overfarmed because I remember getting to a third Foul Play here. No, my kid is crying with a minute and a half left. Hopefully he just calms down for a minute. Nope. Okay. Please ignore his screams unless they get too loud, then I have to call this video early. So if I jump out, it's because he's crying too much. Malamar here so I can get the crunch off. Psywave's resisted. He's just waking up from his nap. Alright, I'm going to call it here. You get the idea. Sorry that I was wrong about Sableye. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.